This is Solo P1. This is to my iTunes and Spotify followers. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. I would appreciate it. Thank you. This is Solo P1. This is the F1 2023 Spanish qualifying live reaction. Now, I was going to do this earlier, but I had a lot on and I couldn't do it. But I am doing it. I'm doing it now. It is 11:08 p.m. UK time. And I'm going to do this video. And here we go. It's not going to be long. Drink my coffee. Now, at the beginning of this weekend, I was optimistic. Very optimistic. I thought, look, this is where we're going to have the upgrade for Mercedes. We're finally going to have the upgrades for Mercedes. They're going to come in and we're going to at least get a potential podium. We know it was supposed to happen in Imola. Disaster struck in Italy and Imola Romagna. Nothing we could do about it. So Mercedes said, look, we're going to bring it to Monaco. And in my opinion, it shouldn't have been Monaco. We shouldn't have had the upgrades in Monaco. I thought it was absolutely pointless having the upgrades in Monaco. But I don't work for Mercedes. I'm not an expert. I'm just a podcaster. And just give my opinion. Now, when the weekend start, practice 1 and practice 2, I wasn't really optimistic about Mercedes' chances. I thought, look, it seems like the car's gone backwards. That's what it seems like to me. When I watched it, it seems like it went backwards. Backwards. Not forwards, backwards. Now, look, we know as Mercedes fans, I'm a Mercedes fan, I'm a race fan. We've been waiting since 2022, at the beginning of 2022, a year and a half, more or less, for Mercedes to try and show some sort of competitiveness. Some sort of competitiveness. And this weekend, the big build-up, this was it. This was where Mercedes was going to show their stuff. Practice 1, practice 2. I actually put out a tweet. I said on the Twitter, I said, Mercedes, the season is a wrap. Done. We have to wait till next year. We have to wait until next year, until they have this brand new concept. Now, look, that's what I was setting myself up for. And then the evidence of practice 1 and 2 showed that. It showed that Mercedes still haven't cracked it. The interview that Lewis Hamilton gave on practice 2, at the end of practice 2, he had a little smile in his face. And he says, oh, the car's all right. It seems okay. Commentators were saying, I don't think the car's good. It seems like Lewis Hamilton really wants to say something else, basically being negative, like they always do. Not all of them, but some of them. And then when Lewis Hamilton come out today in practice 3 and he started going, whoa, these laps started coming in, I thought to myself, that's the Mercedes I want to see. That's the Mercedes I want to see. So, Lewis Hamilton come out and I think he got the second fastest in practice 3. But to be fair, practice never lasted because Logan Sargent spinned into the gravel and basically practice 3 was done. There was a red flag. Cars came into the pits. We had to wait for about 10-15 minutes and then basically everybody was going on the inters. So fair enough, practice is over. So really, Logan Sargent, he ruined practice 3, in my opinion. I know he never meant to, but it happened. It is what it is. So I thought, look, Lewis Hamilton's, I think it was P2, the second fastest on the scoreboard, on the time board. So I thought, you know what? It's okay. Let's just move on. So I was watching qualifying and then I started complaining about the rain again. So I was thinking it's not going to be one of these weekends. At this point, I was giving up. I was thinking, you know what? What's the point of watching it? We're just going to have rain on and off, on and off, on and off. Look, I don't mind the rain, even during the race. I like the rain during the race. I like when it starts off dry and then the rain suddenly comes into it and then makes an exciting race. So I was thinking to myself, look, Verstappen's going to win everything. He's going to win everything this weekend. And basically the commentators are just going to praise him all weekend, whatever. So when I was watching practice, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Practice one, it started. I weren't optimistic about this weekend. Even by these points, even though Lewis Hamilton was second fastest in practice 3, I always knew that maybe there was going to be more. There was going to be more faster times than Lewis, because obviously other drivers didn't have a chance to get their stint out. So I was watching it. I was thinking, right, here we go. So Bottas came out onto the gravel, red flag. So I said, here we go. This is the way this weekend is going to start. It's going to be constantly red flags. The rain's going to come, and it's just going to be a disastrous qualifying. That's what I thought. Big up, sporty boy. Toto's not here today. Be back tomorrow, though. He had something come up. So Gasly got out of the way. Oh, Gasly, I don't know what Gasly was doing. He was with his car, and he was everywhere today. He impeded Max Verstappen and Sainz, so he got a 3 or 4 place grid penalty. So, but it was after the qualifying when they announced it. But that's what happened. He got a 4 place grid penalty for impeding Max Verstappen and Sainz. So I was watching this. I was thinking, what's going on? Then Lewis Hamilton started to show speed. Lewis Hamilton in Q2, he got the I think he was the fastest. He was the fastest in Q1. At the end of Q1, Lewis Hamilton was the fastest at the end of Q1. I was thinking, now Mercedes have landed. Now we're going to see something. Now we're going to see it. So I was thinking, you know what? Fastest lap at Q1, why not? I'll take it. That means the upgrade was working. That means Lewis Hamilton was sandbagging in practice. So I was thinking, there we go. Get a nice clean run in. Come to Q3, we'll probably get a potential second. That's what I was saying. So I was like, okay. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, his own teammate crashed into him. His own teammate, George Russell. Look, I'm not going to sit here and bash George Russell. I'm not. George Russell is an amazing driver. George Russell is a future world champion, no doubt. Especially if he stays with Mercedes. No doubt. But at the end of the day, what are you doing? He saw Lewis Hamilton coming down that track. He saw him. And as soon as and they were on the fastest lap, by the way. They were on the fastest lap. So as soon as he saw Lewis Hamilton, he moved over to Lewis Hamilton and broke his front wing. Broke his nose of his car. Now, after he done that, look, they changed the nose, but the car wasn't the same. Lewis Hamilton said himself, he said after George Russell hit him, his car was steering to the right-hand side. And I think that's what cost him. That's why he ended up getting 5th place. Now he's got 4th place because Gasly got a 4-place grid penalty or 3-place grid penalty. That's why Lewis Hamilton is 4th. But originally, he was 5th. 5th place. And that was because of George Russell. George Russell was struggling with his car all weekend. He was struggling with his car in practice. He was struggling with his car in qualifying. He was struggling with his car in qualifying too. He actually went out in Q2 because he was struggling with his car. Even if he wouldn't have hit Lewis Hamilton, he still would have went out. He was all over the place, George Russell, with his car. Clearly frustrated. Clearly. But Lewis Hamilton and the car was in harmony. It was perfect sync. The way Lewis Hamilton, finally Lewis Hamilton has got a car that works. Finally, Lewis Hamilton has got a car that he can compete with podiums. We know he's not going to win the race because we know that's going to be Red Bull because Red Bull cheat and never got the fastest car. We know this. I'm not going to go down that road. Look, I've talked about Red Bull for long enough. I'll still continue to talk about them, but this is not about Red Bull. This is about two teammates who are crashing into each other. Two teammates. Now, after the qualifying finish, Lewis ended up getting 5th place, but obviously got 4th place because of Pierre Gasly. When this finished, What happened? I went to the commentators, Natalie Pinkman and Naomi Schiff was there. And I had Nico Rosberg. They flew him in from somewhere, probably from Monaco. They flew him in and needed someone there to go alongside Natalie. Actually, I would have preferred Natalie Pinkman and Naomi Schiff, just them two. They would have done me. Just pick them two. Throw in Anthony as well. Anthony Davidson, throw him in there. Them three. They flew in Nico Rosberg for a name. They wanted a name on there because there's no Simon Lazenby, which I'm glad about. I hope Simon Lazenby has a permanent vacation. Go on vacation and don't come back to Simon Lazenby. That would do me. But anyway, you had the commentators, Naomi Schiff. You had Naomi Schiff, Natalie Pinkman, and Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg said, Nico Rosberg said Hamilton should apologise. Hamilton should apologise. Why? Hamilton should apologise. So his teammate crashes into Hamilton. Yeah? George Russell, I'm not saying George Russell did it on purpose, but George Russell crashes into Lewis Hamilton, and Lewis Hamilton should apologise. Really? This is what... I'm not a fan of the FIA, but even the FIA penalised George Russell. They gave him a warning. Obviously, they never gave him a penalty, which he should have got a penalty for moving over towards his own teammate, and then he putting his teammate into the wall. Let's face it, a few more not a few more inches, one more inch to the left onto the grass, Lewis would have went into the side. Potential could have got injured, and that's what his teammate done. But Rosberg says no. Lewis has to retire. Lewis has to apologise to George Russell. You know why? You know why Nico Rosberg's saying that? Nico Rosberg is saying that about Lewis Hamilton for one reason only, just to be relevant. This guy is irrelevant, so he has to stay relevant. He has to piggyback off Lewis's name. He has to mention Lewis Hamilton's name. And as soon as he mentions Lewis Hamilton's name, he knows the trolls online are going to circle. Then, not long after that, he says Nico Rosberg trending on Twitter. The reason why he's trending on Twitter is because he's a troll. And two, he's irrelevant. And to stay irrelevant, like I said, he has to mention Lewis Hamilton's name. He knows Lewis Hamilton should never have to apologise, but he has to say that because he knows it's going to cause controversy. And that's all Nico Rosberg is now. And it's a shame at the moment. It's actually a shame. Because Nico Rosberg was a great driver back in the day, and he retired in his 30s. He actually retired in his the peak of his powers. He was world champion, and he was 30 years of age, 2016, and he retired. Because you know why he retired? Because he couldn't hang with Lewis Hamilton. He couldn't hang. His head was clattered. He won that world title, yeah. And some people say he shouldn't have won the world title because obviously I think Lewis Hamilton had 3 DNFs in that season. His head was clattered, and he had to rob Lewis Hamilton's engineers. That's another thing as well. So his head's clattered. So he has to retire at 30 in 2016. And what he did, he started a stupid YouTube channel, yeah, for about a couple of years. Now he doesn't care about it. Now he's just living off his dream, living with his money. And now and again, he'll pop his head back to Sky Sports when I throw him a bone. And then what he'll do is stick the knife into Lewis Hamilton. Very simple. That's all Rosberg does. That's all he does. And it is sad because he was a great driver before. Not a great driver, but he was a good driver. Now, Perez, might as well just forget it. He was bouncing on the gravel, Perez. His title shots are over. I wouldn't surprise if the Red Bull set up his car to fail. Not to crash, but to fail. Soon as Perez says, soon as Perez said about a month ago now, soon as Perez come out and said, right, I'm going to fight Max for the world title, Red Bull goes, no, you're not. All of a sudden, few races after that, his car starts breaking down. He can't steer. He's going onto the gravel, but Max's car is fine. Max's car is absolutely perfect. But what happened to Perez? His car's nowhere. Bit suspicious. So basically, Lewis Hamilton finishing 5th place, but now he's 4th place because of Pierre Gasly. I'm going to go through the final runnings of this Grand Prix. I'm going to go through it now. Let's see the final standings. How it finished. So we had Max Verstappen, P1. Let's see this load up. Let it load up. There you go. Finally, we got it. So, we've got Max Verstappen 1, Science 2, Norris 3. I'll bring it around there so I can see it better. So we've got Max Verstappen 1, Science 2, Norris 3, Pierre Gasly 4, but he took a free place group penalty. I think he's going to be under Ocon. So it'd be basically Lewis Hamilton's going to be 4. We've got Stroll, Ocon, Hockenberg 8th, Alonso 9th, Piastri 10th, Perez 11th, Russell 12th, Juan Joe 13th, and Nick De Vries 14th, Tsunoda 15th, and Bottas 16th. Magnussen 17th, Albon 18th, Leclerc 19th, and Sargent 20th. But when the penalty, obviously Gasly, I think it was a 3 or 4 place group penalty. Let's have a check. 3 or 4 place group penalty for Gasly. I think it was 4. Three-place group penalty. That's what Gasly got, 3-place group penalty. So we'll drop down to, what we see there, where he's. Sorry about the computer, it's a bit slow. So Gasly originally got P4, so we'll go down to 7th. We'll go where Ocon is. Ocon will go, he'll go above Ocon. Yeah, that's where we'll go, above Ocon. So that's the end of that quick live reaction. Monday, we're going to still do the debrief. We've got Spotty Boy in the chat room. Let's bring him up. Sporty Boy. Predictions for top 3. I think top 3 is going to be, the winner is going to be, people saying that Max Verstappen is going to get 1 and number 2 is going to be Sainz and 3 is going to be Lewis Hamilton. I think this is where it's going to be. I think Lewis Hamilton's going to win. Max Verstappen's going to come 2. And Sainz is going to come 3. I know people are going to think, what you're talking about. Max has got the fastest car. But in my opinion, I still think that Lewis has got a chance to win this race tomorrow because it's Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, Toto's he's off today, but he'll be back tomorrow for the race review. But that's my top 3, Sporty Boy. Big up Sporty Boy. Go and subscribe to Sporty Boy. He does reviews and that sports stuff on his channel. Go and big him up, man. He's on there. If you like podcast stuff about sport, about football and stuff like that, go and give him a bell, man. So that's me signing out, man. I'm going. See you guys tomorrow. Don't forget the race live the live race reaction tomorrow, and the race watch along with the virtual map, all the stats, all the telemetry. Everything's good, man. Everything's good for tomorrow. So we've got 2 tomorrow. So look out for that. Hit the subscribe, hit the follow. I'm gonna leave up thumbnails, alerts. So when I go live, you will be the first to get them. Scan the 2 QR codes. Mine's at the top, TOTO Hammer's at the bottom. And hit the yellow QR code. That's buy me a coffee. You're not obligated to buy me a coffee, but it would be appreciated. But it's there. Scan it and buy me a coffee to help support the channel. But that's it, man. I'm off. See you later, guys. See you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with TOTO Hammer. He'll be back tomorrow. So also good. See you later, guys. Bye. Actually, before I go, there you go. I love this music. It's YouTube music. It's like it anyway. See you later, guys. Bye.